So today I'm going to be talking about Taylor from The Secret Wives of Mormon Wives. I've seen the whole season now, and I want to share some of my therapist thoughts with you on this lady. If you find yourself thinking about the impact of the church and her parents on her and her behavior, this is the video for you. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Ashley. I am a therapist. I've been a therapist for 14 years. I also love reality TV, so I talk about both mental health topics, therapy topics, and reality TV people and shows and trends and stuff like that. And if you like that kind of thing, you think that might be interesting to you, please like and subscribe and stick around for the rest of this video. Taylor right away makes me think, oh no, please don't share this information with everyone. You don't have to tell everyone everything. That was during that very first scene between her and Macy. It's not that I think she should be ashamed. It's that I could tell she will tell anything about herself, even to people who will judge her and use it against her. I have a theory that this is related to Mormons have to tell their bishop when they did something wrong, and they can be punished for it. Or like at BYU, they have the honor code, and people telling each other all the time for like bad behavior. And it's like the church is always there watching and deciding if you're fit to go to the temple or to be in the church at all. It's as though they get in the habit of thinking others have a right to know what goes on in their personal lives. They don't get to have boundaries around it. I said this in my last video as well, but in case you didn't see that, I lived in Salt Lake City for 15 years. I'm married to an ex-Mormon. I have several patients still in the church and many who've left. So I've had some experience in thinking about the church and its impacts. Taylor herself is very common in her rebellion and sort of her half in, half out of the church, trying to get out of the cage, but also scared to really give it up and then be or feel shunned. This is very common for Mormons who are questioning how the church really fits into their lives and whether the church is true at all. I think it's hard for her to imagine life without the community she's known. What would her parents do if she really left the church? Would she still be allowed to be a part of Mom Talk? She has been raised in a very sheltered way. Her Salt Lake is not the same Salt Lake I knew when I lived there. We were in very different worlds. But I don't get the sense that she has really lived by the teachings of the church and holds them near and dear to her heart. She seems pretty indifferent about all that. Plus, her parents are already really crappy, so imagine what else they could do or say. On that note, let's discuss. Her mother and father do not speak to her kindly. They don't speak to her with love or sound like they love her at all. They sound like they tolerate her and treat her as a place to let off steam for themselves. Both would rather criticize her than say or do anything meaningful or helpful. I basically wanted to wring my hands around her mother's neck every time I heard her tell Taylor, with contempt, that she needed to get her stuff together. Thanks, Mom. That is so helpful. Unfortunately, I think we see Taylor take her rage out on herself via self-sabotage rather than direct it at her parents and the church, where it really belongs. It's also as though she's saying, okay, you tell me I'm bad, I'll show you how bad I can be. For example, she gets pregnant at inopportune times for herself. She absolutely insists on telling her mother everything, even though Mom is never understanding and kind. She puts herself at risk of massive judgment and singling out by talking about her personal life online. She gets into and stays in a relationship with someone with whom she knows is toxic for her, and she can't let go. And I don't blame her for being afraid of parenting a baby on her own, believe me. But you can tell she's still struggling with what's the right thing to do versus the simple, what do I want to do? It's like, why is she staying with him, with Dakota, if she has no intention of marrying him at this point and knows that very clearly? So she's gotten pregnant with someone with whom she doesn't see forever, and now she will be linked to him for the rest of her life, no matter what. Seems part of the pull is what the church or parents think, and part of the pull is her fear of raising a child on her own, and Part of the pull is this self-sabotage streak she likely gained from being raised by two parents who seem to smirk and feel gleeful when she messes up. And this is what she knows is love, unfortunately, and that's a reason she seeks it out and finds it. I think she's screaming out, telling people that she's suffering, and all she gets is more judgment and more "get your stuff together." Who wouldn't want to rebel against that? I mean, I personally wouldn't do it in the way that she's doing it, but I totally get it. So those are my thoughts for this week. Let me know what you think. I mean, do you think I'm right, I'm wrong, I missed something? What do you think about the church's impact on her, about her parents' impact on her? Do you relate at all? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe.